to Properties with me, Amy Clark, and
Chris Mogensen with Royal LePage Solutions.
We are going to talk to you about the market update and all Canmore has to offer.
Well, we take you for a little stroll around our neighborhood.
Right now we are on Policeman's Creek and we have a nice boardwalk here, and we're going to take you for a walk down it. It's cold, so don't mind us when we start shivering. So today in big news for Canmore, there are a new incentive program that Canmore is talking about in various public hearings to incentivize owners of single-family homes in the downtown core area to sweep their properties so that we can increase housing, which we all... That was very icy. Trying not to die while telling you all about the new suited property incentives from the town of Canmore. Hoping to increase housing, as we know that housing is a big issue here in Canmore. There just isn't enough of it.
And for anybody who's lived here and tried to find whether or not be a property to buy and own, or if you're looking for that rental property, we all know how competitive and how long of a process that is. And in other news, Rome Transit, which is the Bow Valley's public transportation bus system, celebrated a huge milestone in 2025, having received over 3 million users, whether that be between Canmore to Banff, all around Canmore, or traveling from Banff over to Lake Louise and some of the other big tourist destinations. Fun fact about the transportation system here in the Bow Valley is that so much of that is paid for by the public parking and any parking tickets that are received, therefore making public transportation with Rome around Canmore free for all of its users. Figure for some more news and updates, why not dive a little bit into the Bow Valley market?
Well, it's kind of what we're here for, isn't it?
We've seen a huge decline in available inventory as well as sales. We are now into our third week of January, starting off 2026. With thus far, there's been 15 sales that have happened in Canmore since January 1, which is actually down 20% from last year at this same time.
We have 102 active listings right now, and that also includes properties under contract, which is like
also down
really
20%
low
from last year.
Yeah.
Of those, there's 21 homes currently for sale, which are single-family detached homes. Of those 21, only 3 of them are under 1.5 million, and 2 of those 3 currently under contract.
Right, but don't we have 4 others in the outreaches of the Canmore area, like Harvey Heights,
So
Dead Man's Flats?
A lot of people, when they think of the Bow Valley, they ignore other areas like these little hamlets and suburbs all around Canmore because it's not considered that big ticket market when people think of the Bow Valley. But we do have 4 other properties that are around, all within 10-15 minute drive of Canmore and all of its services. One of them being a property that I've got for sale, which will be having some open houses this weekend and again in the near future over in Exshaw.
So in those 102 active listings that we currently have on market, how many of those are short-term rentals?
Currently, right now, we are seeing some of the largest decline of available inventory for the short-term rentals, where we've only currently got 3 properties in that visitor accommodation zoning.
3? I think that's the lowest I've ever heard.
It's what it means is that if you do have any kind of visitor accommodation properties and you are looking to cash out and take advantage, there's huge demand right now and way below in supply. So
listing those short-term rentals in the spring has always been the most profitable way to sell your property.
Is there any specific reason for that?
People are trying to get into the market as quickly as possible in the spring because they want to cash out on those summer months. Little known fact is that our summer months in the Bow Valley are actually our busiest months. You would think we're a ski town, but we're a lot more than that. We have tons of visitors that come to view and to stay in a whole ton of Airbnbs in Canmore in the summertime. So people like to purchase their properties so that their Airbnbs are ready to go for the summer where they make most of their money. Did you know that the average 2-bedroom short-term rental property in Canmore grosses $120,000 a year?
That doesn't surprise me at all. And then with these properties, of course, it all depends on how you decide to manage it. A lot of people who own these types of homes or these types of condos don't live in the town, and they end up working with internal management companies, or they hire external ones themselves and are able to maintain that these properties are managed and generating income while still being afar.
So I've done the math on that, Chris, and depending on which property management you go with, they all have a bit of a different percentage that they take and different options that they offer. But what I like to tell my clients is to expect about 30% in total costs, regardless of whether you're going with a 10% from your management company or a 25%. The costs in the end are about 30% off of your gross annual income.
And so for anybody who's interested in finding out more about owning any short-term or investment income rental properties in Canmore, definitely reach out. So all to say, if you are somebody who owns property right now that you're looking to sell and you fall into that category, now might be one of the best times that you've seen in the past 2 years to take advantage of this market.
I have quite a few buyers that are specifically looking for short-term rentals, and we just don't have the market for it right now. With only 3 listings, there's not enough to choose from to make a good qualified decision.
Even your standard residential zoned apartment units, especially ones at an affordable price, we don't have a lot of those at the moment, but I think we have some up and coming.
There's quite a few going on at Crossbow right now. The trick with Crossbow is that different buildings have different caveats on them, so it's a bit trickier to purchase there. Some of them are 40+ buildings, so they tend to stay on market just a little while longer and have to be marketed differently to sell quickly. I do have a 2-bedroom, 1-bathroom unit available coming on in the $400,000 range, which doesn't happen very often in Canmore.
Well, now here's a question, because I know that between Whiskey Jack as well as Montane Village, which are a couple different complexes in town, some people might not understand specifically why these properties are more affordable or what some of the conditions around them might be.
Right, so they were actually built under the guise of being affordable housing, which has helped keep down the price on these properties. With Whiskey Jack and Montane, there is a caveat on title that you have to work in the Bow Valley for 20 hours?
20
I believe
hours.
it's 20 hours a week.
Yes.
20 hours a week to be able to live there. It doesn't mean that you have to work 20 hours a week to purchase there, but I do encourage these types of properties to go to people starting out in the market that are trying to get a foothold in Canmore and kind of start their lives. I also think, especially with Whiskey Jack, that this particular type of property is a great upgrade for those that started in Montane Village and are looking for pet-friendly accommodation that has underground parking, also in-suite laundry, and there's another, and balconies. Whereas Montane Village, which has the same caveat and is at basically the same price point, has outdoor parking, no in-suite laundry, no balconies, and is not pet-friendly. We have a plan. We are going to go into the Malcolm Hotel here in Spring Creek because dogs are allowed there, and we have Kit Kat Corner. Where are you? Da-da-da! And we're gonna sit and chat with you in there for a little bit while we warm up. So enough about my listing. Chris, why don't you tell us a little bit about your listing?
Well, we mentioned earlier, spoke a little bit about the different hamlets and different neighborhoods that are all around Canmore, but are often overthought and not looked at. And one of them being Exshaw. I've got a property which has recently been put up in Exshaw. Great little 5-bedroom, 3-level split, 3-level split home. With a double-car garage, large 9,000 square foot lot, which has been listed for just under $1 million for a detached home. Under $1 million. It is one of the 4 properties outside of Canmore in some of these other neighborhoods, and of those 4, only 2 of them are under $1 million. This is one of them.
Two under $1 million.
There's 2 under $1 million, yes,
That's
and
insane.
This is one of them. So that property has gone up. It's great for a young family. You're looking for those extra bedrooms. Has a lot of bonus features to it, including all in-floor heating in the basement, fully renovated kitchen, fully fenced backyard, and all located just about 10-15 minutes away from all of the services of Canmore and things that the Bow Valley has to offer.
Do you know what I love most about Exshaw?
Tell me.
They have a rentable community center that is available to anybody that lives in Exshaw. And my daughter was invited to a birthday party there, and it was epic. There were at least over 30 kids. It certainly didn't feel like there was over 30 kids. They have an upstairs area with a kitchenette that you can rent and a downstairs area with a full kitchen that you can rent. So Chris, that's a lot about the market and a lot of information that we've offered these guys. Why don't we talk a little bit about what to do in Canmore once you get here?
Well, because there's a lot of things that the Bow Valley has to offer. We've all heard about how great the ski hills are this year and how they've seen some of the most amount of snow and had the best start to the year that they've seen in 75 years.
Record-breaking snow.
But maybe you're not a big skier. Maybe that's something which is unknown to you or you never really got into.
Or maybe this is the first year in 10 years you didn't buy a pass.
That one. Or, and we have a lot of offers to the things that you can do around town. Cross-country skiing, we have our Nordic Center, as well as a number of places up by Lake Louise. But if you're into something a little bit more of a slower pace or never got into those skis, there are some great winter hikes that are available year-round. They're not just limited to summer.
Winter hikes. Don't you just fall through the snow?
No, a lot of these hikes get so well packed down, and if you go out there on a nice day, dress up warmer than what we are like today, and you can actually have a phenomenal time out in the mountains all year round. Some of the highlights, I just did one the other week, Rummel Lake. That was a great 10.5-kilometer hike, took about 3.5 hours round trip to do. Chester Lake, another very popular hike. I love
Chester Lake.
One of Amy's favorites. Or you might go find something a little bit more exciting with a little bit more elevation and some views, doing something like Burstall Pass. These hikes are all anywhere from 30, 45 minutes. At most, you're looking at about an hour away, but so they're all, for the most part, within 30 to 45 minutes from Canmore, and a great way to spend an afternoon. But of course, it is always important to check the conditions first, as well as make sure that it's safe.
Avi conditions are super high right now, above the tree line especially. They're saying if you have to pass underneath an Avi slope, that you need to do so underneath the tree line area, which is basically don't pass underneath an Avi slope. There is a persistent slab that we've had through a hoarfrost early in the season, and we've had a ton of snow, so it's impacting those Avi conditions big time. Always check your trail reports and make sure that if you are going in, that you know whether or not you have to be concerned of those Avi conditions for the hikes that you're doing.
The mountains are a great place to have fun, but it is always important to be safe. You have to respect the mountains and the environment that you're in. So that's always something which is important to take a look at and keep an eye out for. Do your research ahead of time. But maybe winter activities aren't your thing. Maybe you're a little bit more of a summer person, and that's fine. There's something for everybody all year round, including plenty of other activities that can be done in the Bow Valley. Festivals offered year round that you can go and check out.
Currently, they have the Banff Snow Days going on, which, again, if you're not into snow, sounds terrible. However, there's super fun activities going on. They usually have like an ice climbing tower right in the middle of downtown Banff, and ice climbing competitions that you can go and watch. They just had the skiduring racing down Main Street. I believe it was down Main Street.
It was down Main Street.
In Banff, where people on skis are towed by people on horses, and then they go over jumps. Like, what? It's madness. But it was one of Banff's busiest days ever. I was in Banff at 11 a.m., thank goodness, for a hockey game for my son. And by the time I left at 1 p.m., the traffic was 4 kilometers backed up from Banff Town exit.
I heard they were turning people away. Banff was closed.
It was insane. So if you go to one of these huge major events, make sure you get there early, park at the train station, and take the bus into town. Well, I think that wraps up our market update for you with peeks to properties.
All of the insights about the Bow Valley, from the market to activities or things to do if you're just looking to come and visit.
I think we've covered it all, Chris.
I think at least for this time. So all that being said, if you have any questions, if you want to check out either of the listings that we've got going, or if this is something where you might be interested in getting into the Bow Valley market yourself, or maybe you're just planning a visit or a family trip, definitely reach out. You'll be able to find all of our contact information, and we are happy to answer any and all questions.
Absolutely. You'll see in our comment section below that we have links to our emails as well as our Facebook and Instagram, and you can reach out to either of us for any questions that you might have. I know that we touched on some topics like short-term rentals, residential properties, and how there's really not that many of them available, and the different areas of Canmore. So lots of questions, I'm sure, that are stirring in your head. Reach out anytime. We're happy to answer them and walk you through the process.
We'd love to hear from you. Have a fantastic rest of your day, and look forward to hearing from you next time.
Talk soon.